Happened. Bombastic, fantastic, elastic,
Go.
lava.
Hello, you guys.
Hey, we are back, guys. It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
It's been a week.
Well, I said 10 days. She said a
long
week.
time.
We've been having that marital thing going on today. It's good. All right. Welcome, guys, to another exciting episode. Can you say it?
Yeah, sorry. He just reminded me of a Ricky Gervais that I got to show you because he's talking about Noah. It doesn't matter. Okay, welcome to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun for You on the 16th of September 2022.
That's right.
And it's your manifesting questions answered live.
Your manifesting questions answered live. Dr.
It
Brian.
is. Hello,
Joe.
Joe.
Jumping Joe. Jumping
Yes.
Joe. Well done.
Dark mockery.
Dark mockery. Luke is in the
Oh,
building.
Luke.
Hey guys, like in 15 days roughly, Dream Driven Day starts for October. This will be the last one this year. The next one will be January or February. Haven't worked out the entire year for next year yet.
Yes.
So if you want to dick around and wait to peel away another layer of the onion or to join us, wait till next year. Just realize, I mean, it's not that far away, because it's like October, November, December, January. It's only like 4 months.
Maybe 5 if it's
Maybe
February.
5 if it's
Yes.
February, right? I don't know. But it's one of those things, if you like dicking around, join us for Dream Driven Day in February.
Right.
Or join us now.
Okay,
my
so
shaka.
so where are we sending people now?
DreamDrivenDay.com.
All right, dreamdrivenday.com.
Right.
I meant easy manifesting.
Yeah, easymanifestingmethods.com.
That's
Yes.
still valid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not invalid.
It's not invalid.
No.
It's negative.
Well, wait till you see what we got coming up there. I've got so much shit going on. I've got like 3 new projects, like ready to rock and roll probably this weekend. Like metaphysics for you guys.
Metaphysics.
State stacking. Like all kind of pain. I feel your pain.
All right.
All right. Seriously, I'm on fire.
Yes, I know. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Yeah, we will. Stella Jim. Hello.
Hello, and Lisa, and
and
Jess.
LaRock and Jess.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. I even reply to the comments more often now.
Really?
Yeah, I just figured, what the hell?
Oh,
Might as well
that's
talk back
nice.
at them. Right?
But back at them.
Yeah, I might as well talk back
ya.
at them. Yo, back at ya. So somebody just asked a question. You got to ask them in the group before the show because we can't catch them on the scroll. So I wish we could. So, drop me an email. We'll put it in next week's show. Otherwise, we'll see if we answer it anyway. Coral, Triple D,
Never
what?
know.
Are you on 6?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Probably.
Oh, baby.
Hello, Caroline.
Let's do it.
All right. So, the first question today is from Sharon in Manifesting Mastery. How to avoid painful middles.
Fine, I feel your pain.
And Sharon asks, I can live in the state of happy, loving wife, and that is the kind of man I want to marry, versus I need it to be this person. I think we've all been there. But I'm scared of manifesting a painful breakup with my current partner, or some kind of period of pain or loneliness to get there. What can I do about this? Thanks.
All right, so he probably wants to leave anyway. That's my feeble attempt at humor. By the way, here's what's really cool, right? If you decide, look, this is going to be a little painful.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Speed bumps happen,
Yeah.
right? And if you decide, you know what, here's the thing, speed bumps happen. You could really imagine it's going to be hell. We're going to make attorneys rich, right? I mean, all that stuff. Or you just go looky, right?
Looky.
Right?
Looky here. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what I'd do. I'd imagine, what do you really want? If you want to be a happy, loving wife, whatever, move into that state, perceive the world from that state, and don't have it all so painful to get here. I enjoy doing push-ups. I got a friend who refuses to do a push-up. He's a socialist.
When did you last do a push-up?
I do push-ups in the pool all the time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I thought I was
So,
being
I, so I don't be like that with me, woman. Right? So he believes that if I do push-ups, his chest should get bigger. Right? I say, let me get this right. So if you eat donuts, I should get fatter. I see. I don't understand this kind of thing, but here's what I understand. If you imagine happy, loving wife, happy, loving whatever you want to be, right? At the end of the day, don't imagine it was hard to get there. That's just adding shit in. Manifesting Mastery course lesson 1. The girls giggled. What's it mean? I'm happy, so what's that mean? I had to struggle, I had to push, I had to shit on people. Yeah. Versus like radio, right? just go right for the gusto.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, welcome to the show.
Hello, and
Mary.
Okay, cool. So that was for Sharon.
By the way, stick around, Sharon. We're going to be answering this in different ways throughout the other questions because we always weave them in, because otherwise I'd get really bored. And I'm not good at bored. Am I, Coral? Okay. Not good at bored at all.
The next question's from Steve via email. Joseph Goddard question.
That's right.
And Steve says, hi.
Hi, Steve.
Hiya.
Hi, Steve.
As I recall, Joseph Goddard would walk past a building every day and saw that it was his. I believe this took a couple of years. I heard you say that you don't like to wait and you don't like expensive, well, sort of like myself. So why are you doing a Joseph Goddard? Or did I miss something?
Absolutely, Steve. You missed something. You missed the whole boat, pal.
The whole boat.
Yeah. Still love you, right? Yeah, we're still friends, right? But some of us can like vanilla, some can like chocolate. But here's the cool thing. You're thinking of Victor Goddard. Victor Goddard would walk past the building every day and see the Goddard name on it.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, he didn't walk past and feel discouraged because it wasn't there. See, there's some lessons to be learned from all the Goddards, right? Joseph Goddard was the one.
Had the Berbice chair.
Yeah, Joseph Goddard had the Berbice chair. Who manifested up a Berbice chair?
You did. Well, I facilitated it. I found the chair.
That's right.
For you.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's cool because we got one, right? And the cool thing, Jan Christa, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jan.
So here's the cool thing. Joseph Goddard every day did something very specific. By the way, this weekend, maybe next week, we will be releasing Joseph Goddard. No, to the max, right? Because everyone's fucking this up, right? There's a lot of people playing. Some are playing pretty darn well. But if you add in stuff, if you leave things out, if you get the wrong Goddard in there, it just gets weird. Joseph Goddard did something really simple, right? Joseph Goddard every day would lay down or sit down in his Berbice chair, and he would imagine specific events of his day already having gone his way.
Yeah.
He didn't go and like imagine up the lottery win. It went my way. No, he imagined specific events of his day on his calendar having gone his way. Right? Yeah. And here's the thing. Some people go, well, if I can't win the lottery with it, I don't care. And it's like, you don't understand the point of it, right? The point of the Joseph Goddard is I can demonstrate at least a dozen wins per day, every single day. And I know some people say, well, like lunch is not a win. Well, really? I bet you're eating a shit sandwich for lunch every day. See, there's a reason why me and my woman keep getting closer after 12 years. And some people go in the other direction because they're imagining a shit show every morning while waking up. And here's the thing. If you're waking up every morning giving life to specific lovely in your day, you're going to have specific lovely in your day, Bo. And that's really important because if you're not having specific lovelies that you can pinpoint every day, at some point you get discouraged.
Discouraged?
Right? Yes, you do. And you don't want to play anymore. Right? Right. On the other hand, I mean, if you're having a wonderful time, it's like, But stay tuned, Steve. We're going to keep answering this. And again, I've got probably 3 things coming out, maybe 4 things coming out in the next couple of days, week. The Pain Pack. I don't have a sexier name than that.
Pain Pack.
Pain Pack. Right? I feel your pain.
I want it. Yes, please. I want the Pain Pack.
Right, so we got the Pain Pack coming up. We've got state stacking, which is just something we covered in the club, but differently about 2-3 years ago. And more on that later. What else do I got coming out? Joseph Goddard to the max. And I'm working on a procrastination one, but I'll get around to that someday. But let us. The metaphysics one. I'm working. I did 45 minutes for a metaphysics pack this morning. The shit that I almost never talk about. See, do I ever talk about it? No. But I've got a lot in there. It could be all because of Larry O.
Okay.
All right. Let us continue.
Cool. Excellent. So thank you, Steve, for your question.
State stacking.
The next question's from Joseph in Manifesting Mastery.
Oh, my God.
Is it the same one? Joseph Goddard?
No.
Can I hit the pause button? And Joseph asks, I'm overwhelmed in life. Can I hit the pause button?
This is what's really cool. Suzanne Hamilton has entered the building, right? So this is what's really, really cool, right? So can you hit the pause button? Here's what I notice. You have to. In the pain pack, I put together a little tiny thing because people feel pain and then they imagine suffering, right? My knee hurts. I'm going to be a cripple, right? And I can use the C word because the doctor used it on me when I was like 12, right? It's like the doctor said I'd be crippled in my 20s. So I can use the word and not be offensive. But some people will hear me say that word and they'll be offended, right? Because they're imagining offended. And here's the cool thing. Can you hit the pause button? You can stop and be still. As soon as you stop and be still, you can notice all the shit you're adding in. I called South African Eric at the pool.
Yes.
Right? My buddy, who is not South African, got offended. And it's like, South African Eric, are you offended? Right? He wasn't offended at all. I'm just having fun. People add in all kind of things. We call them snowflakes. And when you call a snowflake a snowflake, it just... Anyway, let us continue. Can you hit the pause button? Yes. Stop and be still. Notice what you're imagining. If it's not what you want, prune the vine. Stop it.
Cool.
But let us continue.
Excellent.
This is so much fun. I told you it'd be a fast show.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Joseph, for your question.
My dog is eating my
I also saw Brian's in the house, the doctor of verbs, nouns, and adverbs, and all of that.
And adjectives.
I was wondering if count was the word, but
no,
I don't think so.
No. But here's the other one. Dr. Brian, right? He is also my favorite doctor of participles.
Dangling
I just love
Sizzler
participles.
likes them as well.
Sizzle likes dangling participles.
It is.
Yes, he does. My God.
It does. Anyway.
All right. Let us continue. Okay. Music and passion were always the fashion.
Excuse me for one sec.
Oh.
It is not the loogie.
Yeah, we tested ourselves.
It's not smoker's cough.
No.
It is this cold.
It's called
But anyway.
goop. Yeah, we got the goop.
The next question's from Jay in an email. Problems versus solutions.
All right.
And Jay asks, in one of your articles, you mentioned about not putting your attention on the problem.
What's he doing out
and
there?
Instead on the solution when manifesting.
What is he doing out there?
What are you talking about?
Anyway, go ahead.
For example, imagining being financially secure instead of having money to pay the bills. So what about desires where it's pretty much impossible to not put your attention on the problem? For example, being a non-smoker or getting rid of freckles or moles.
All right, I once dated a girl with a lot of freckles and moles. I made her go away by taking up smoking. Now, right, the thing is, you want to be able to take things apart that need taken apart, right, and just not worry about them. So back when I started this project, so Victoria had this JOB thing, right? It started at 9 in the morning.
JOB,
right?
yes.
It started at 9 in the morning. It was a 5-minute drive to get there. She'd leave 5 minutes after 9. I don't know how this works out, but she's got this metaphysical thing with time going on, right? She would arrive at Victoria time. She would make her triumphant return into the building, and I'd thank her for showing up, right?
Yeah, I was pretty bad at the end.
Yeah, true story, right? Yeah. So here's what's really cool. So
you want me here or not? You know, like
exactly.
your choice.
Hey, I showed up, right? Can you tell neither one of us is psychologically employable?
It's morning tea time. Right, yes.
So,
yes.
Being a non-smoker. So here's what I did. Before she'd go to work, right, I'd sit there and I'd sit at the coffee table. And while I was bent over sitting on the lounge suite, otherwise known as the sofa, making my what do we call it, hip flexors chronically short, I would roll 30 to 40 little soldiers every day, right?
Yeah.
So I bought the rolly tobacco because I met this girl and she sold the illegal tobacco for about a fifth of what legal tobacco cost. And I went, oh my God, this is good. So I'd roll 30 to 40 little soldiers every morning, right? Yeah. And I'd line them up. And she'll say, what are you doing today? I said, smoking.
Smoking.
So she'd come home from lunch. The house would be full of smoke. I'd have a couple articles written, maybe a couple things recorded. I was building an empire, right? And so one day I woke up and just decided I don't smoke anymore. I took off the State of Stephen King and I picked up some vaping solution. I had some fun because
that's right. I remember
I'm a very
a little
orally
kit.
fixated guy, right? So I smoked a little bit of that, but there was no nicotine in it, right? So it was just flavor, like bacon. I was smoking bacon. Talk
You
about
were.
good fun. It's like she'd come home, now the house smells like bacon, and she'd go, "Ooh, what's for lunch?" She was always disappointed, right? So, but here's the fun thing, right? I went to a different state. When I went to naturopathy school, they said quitting tobacco smoking is harder than morphine. Right? I find that fascinating because a lot of people go, "Wow, I'm going to have a hard time. I'm going to have to buy gum, right, and get patches and shit." Right?
Yeah.
I just changed state. Now here's the cool thing. Neville talks about imagining up a rich and fulfilling life. If you don't want to smoke anymore, what else would you do with your time? Like in Australia, you have to go outside, but you can't stand under anything with a roof. And it's just fucking weird, like the different laws we have in this country. So you have to stand out in the sun and get cancer while you smoke your cigarette. So they can blame the skin cancer on the smoke, I guess. I don't understand. But it's like, what would you do with your time if you weren't smoking, right? What would you do with your time if you weren't worried about freckles or moles? See, what do you really want? I mean, freckles, moles, who really cares? Like, at the end, is your desire to have people like to be considered attractive? Is your desire to be a marathon runner? Which like just puzzles the shit out of me. I want anyone to be a marathon runner.
How did you get that out of freckles and moles?
Oh, like anything. Like, what do you want?
Right.
So here's the thing. If you go, what do I want to fix? It's like, radio, world hunger. What am I hungry for? Sushi. Right? See, that's actionable. So, what you got to do is just notice, what is your desire? Right? Not what do you want to stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. But what's your desire? But let us continue, Jay. That'll be about as clear as mud.
Yeah.
You're going to go, I got a problem with that answer. I promise you, if you're in a state of problems, you're going to have a problem with what I said. Some other folks watching are going to go, that was brilliant. Right?
Yeah, got you.
But we're going to continue to answer your question in the other ones.
Okay.
Right? By the way, here's another one, right? So since Joe brought this up. So here's the thing. Whenever I was teaching people to stop smoking as an option, right, not to break their addiction to cigarette smoking or anything like that, but see, I decided smoking can be an addiction or it could be an option. I find options are easy because you can go, I don't want fries with that. Right? So when you have smoking as an option, it's like, rightio. So why wouldn't smoking be an option? Right? I had a little $7 pack on stopping smoking. Maybe I should do that again. That'd be fun. So here's what I did. It's like I noticed smokers need social strategies because we can walk up to a pretty girl and say, "Hey, can I bum a light?" Right? Suddenly you got a conversation going. See, in Australia, a light is $2. In America, a light's like 50 cents. So you can go up and say, "Hey, can I bum a smoke?" Right? Yeah, boom, you got an instant conversation starter.
So not the light, the cigarette is that. Yeah,
or can you give me a light? Can I bum a smoke? You've got an instant conversation starter. Like that. Right? On the other hand, right? So when I started teaching smokers social strategies, and I just snuck it in. It's like, right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do my weird, spooky NLP shit. But let me ask you a question. When you walk up to a pretty girl, and I'd teach them how to walk up to a pretty girl and give a genuine question and a compliment. Suddenly they don't need to smoke anymore because they don't need that to be their bridge. Got it? So more on that later. So this is so much fun.
Very cool. Okay, so thank you, Jay, for your question.
It's sort of like needing a drink to put up with her. You know what I mean? Like if I just enjoy a whiskey, that's one thing. But if it's like, hey, Victoria's home.
Quick.
Yeah, where's the whiskey, right? Yeah. All right. I got one thumbs up for that.
One thumbs
I can't believe that. I got one thumbs up for that.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Oh, what's that? Oh, I got to laugh. I don't know why I do this.
Oh, you got lots of angries.
I got lots of angries. Who was that?
Okay.
I love you guys.
Then
that's Brian. Oh, you're
Brian.
Dr. Brian, the rascal. Somebody put #rascal. We all know who he is. Rap the rascal.
The next question's from Lisa in Dream Driven Day.
All right.
Life is hard.
Oh, somebody said I can't badmouth Victoria. This is
Who said that?
That was Jumpin' Joe.
Right, sorry. Lisa in Dream Driven Day. Life is hard. hard worker.
This is really good. By the way, you can make stopping smoking hard, or you can work hard at it. Right? Most people take it, like that's the options. Stopping smoking is hard, and I'm going to work hard at it. Right? Or, I'm so good. You're going to catch that one later when you do the edits. Or you can just, like radio, I do something different. I smoked bacon.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And Lisa says, hello, 20, Victoria, and Feel It Real Fun family.
Hey,
Hiya,
Lisa. I love your artwork, by the way. Here's what I want you to do. Put up a post in the group about how you imagine up creating your artwork. Right? Suzanne Hamilton, somebody tag her, do it too. Because I want to work with you artists on something. Right? So like, all right.
Nice. It's wonderful to meet up again. I'm curious about your experience with the idea that life is hard. Or that in order to really have worth, we have to be hard workers. That only hard work creates a meaningful life. It seems this concept of belief is touted everywhere I turn. Well, except here.
That is the rightness.
I nearly erased myself by being a hard worker. I wore myself into sickness. It's my observation that retiring after a long existence of working hard is celebrated, and then it's acceptable to enjoy life. What was that defining moment for you guys where you sprang free? Thank you, and big hugs to everyone.
I want to be free. You want to answer first? Oh, it's fucking hot.
Well, mine, I've said before, mine was the dog park, going to the dog park. So I had a full-time job. I then became a contractor, but didn't work, like maybe worked 4 days or 3 days a week, but went to the dog park. And that's when I saw other people enjoying themselves. Meanwhile, I was like, I'd been grinding myself to the bone. Like you said, like I'd sit at my computer waiting for the email for work to come in so that then I could work, or I'd work all weekend. Remember, I'd work
absolutely.
20 hours straight or more. It was just ridiculous now I think about it. But it was like, no, I'll do this. I was like responsible. And I was like,
Ain't it great when you can tell someone, I'd love to talk to you? No, I wouldn't. But I'm so busy and so tired because I'm so tired of being so busy. Instead, I just tell people, I'm done talking to you now. Right? Go ahead, Victoria.
I don't know now, but it just...
Something changed in you.
Well, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's this massive thing. This shows up in so many ways. Like, right now we've got the plumber and the plumber son out there doing plumber and plumber son things.
Well,
right?
That's another really good example. Like before, like even I was telling the plumber how when I bought here, I wanted bluestone edging around all the garden beds and stuff. But I'm trying to pay the mortgage, so I didn't actually have a lot of money. So I found on eBay or whatever it was way back then, 200 bluestones just around the corner, not far, but you got to pick them up. Now these bluestones, I don't know if you guys know what a bluestone.
It's heavy.
They are the heaviest stone you could have.
It's like the blocks they build prisons out of. Literally, we do have Pentridge Prison in our backyard.
So I bought them all on a bid. Yeah, I'll buy them. Got there. It's down this slope that's like 30 foot down their back gardens, this pile of bluestones. At that time, I only had like the little white Toyota Corolla. Could only haul 8 bluestones at a time. I'd bought 200.
Yeah, that's 30 trips if you'd like do math.
Because I could only put 8 in the car because otherwise the shocks would blow out. It was just ridiculous. The things I think about now that was such hard work. And it's like having the plumbers here now. He said, if you want to save $1, if you dig the trench to there, I'll do it. And it's just like...
No.
I'm contemplating it. And I thought, no. Go for it.
Yeah. We could call her Digger. Right?
Don't need this hard work anymore.
So ready? We're working on another project having to do with the scarcity mindset. And this is much more comprehensive than most people think. It's sneaky as fuck. Right? Hard work comes from a scarcity mindset. Worshipping hard work comes from a scarcity mindset. There's so much there. In order to feel happy, I need this first. There's addiction, right? In order to feel confident, I need first. I need that first. My drug of choice. Addiction. There's so much out there dealing with scarcity. Writer's block. Think about it. We have computers, right? It's easy to type at 90 words a minute. The old people like Hemingway and so on, there were people that wrote dozens and dozens and dozens of things using an ink pen. They didn't have writer's block, right? We have technology, and we claim we have writer's block. I can't be creative without my doobie, right? It's like, See, here's mine. I'll jump on with Victoria. This whole thing of, look at how I struggled. Here's a scarcity thing.
Yep.
Right? Versus, ready? Look at me. Look what I did. Look what I've given life to. You get the difference? Look how I struggle. I spend hours a day doing this. I struggle, I force, I push every day. Look at my struggle versus look at me. Most people really don't want to be noticed. They want their struggle to be noticed because it's a safety buffer. But whenever you're willing to be noticed, then you notice, what the hell am I giving life to? Really? I could save a couple $100, wreck my back?
Yeah.
Right? Not going to do it.
Yep.
Right? It's these little tiny things. It really has to do with scarcity. And scarcity always comes down to time, money, and some other stuff. Tony Doyle. Love you, buddy. Boom. So, let's continue. We're going to answer this, continue to answer this in the other questions, and we started answering it before we got to it, too. So, Lisa, this is excellent.
Cool.
Look at that. Mark Dockery, and when I cut the bootstraps, I was free. Nice to see you, buddy.
Cool.
Boom. What color is your hair today?
Excellent, Lisa. Thank you. The next question's from Priya in Manifesting Mastery. I'm balding. And Priya says, I've got extreme hair loss and I'm balding. I imagined full, healthy, beautiful hair in my photos, and I revised an incident that led to my hair loss. In the 3D world, I didn't get to experience what I imagined. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. What's really tough is like there are different gates that lock it in for different people. So I can make some general things like, we made all the gate methods videos a couple years ago. Go watch them and just play with different things. I bet you're looking for signs. I noticed you say I have extreme hair loss and I'm balding. I'm assuming that you're imagining tomorrow you're going to still have. Yeah, I mean, actually imagining that tomorrow, it'll still be balding, all that stuff, and probably checking. For fun, I'd shave it all off. I'm not saying that'll make a difference, but if you shave it all off, then what? Yeah, just for fun, you get to notice hair grows back. So you revised an incident, led to your hair loss, 3D world. I don't get to experience what I imagined. I get that your feeling is I don't get to. And in some areas of your life, you've resolved that. In some other areas of your life, you haven't. But I don't get to. Right? I don't get it. There's some little things in there really, really worth exploring. And I'll invite you to Dream Driven Day, personally. I think it'd be a good thing for you. You've done MM a lot. I'm going to invite you to do something different. So, imagine full, beautiful hair in my photos, revise the incident. I don't get to experience what I imagined. I don't know what would be the kicker for you. There's the thing. Play with the different gates. That's what I got. And also notice how scarcity and so on has shown up. Let's continue.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Priya, for your question. Next question's from Jess in Dream Driven Day. How to convince yourself. And Jess asks, how to convince yourself it doesn't mean anything when you're having a hard time believing that?
God, this is really general, so I got to give a really general answer. I don't convince myself of anything. Could you imagine me trying to convince her of anything? I'm not in the business of convincing. I'm in the business of inviting. I invite myself to notice something or to notice something differently. When I've put fuck it. I notice a couple of things. One, people don't know what they don't know. So they'll put up a post in the Facebook thing, and I'll say, do this, and I'll say, I already am. It's like, obviously you're not, right? Based on what you said, right? Yeah, you're not. And I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying, people don't know what they don't know, and they don't notice what they don't notice, and they don't notice that they're not noticing what they don't notice, right? It's not just fucking wordplay. It's actual process.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing. Like I said, I don't convince. I can't convince her of anything. I can't convince you of anything. Tyra, can I talk a little bit closer? Can I talk a little bit closer to the mic? So here's the cool thing. I don't bother trying to convince anyone of anything. Okay, all I do is share what I share. Some people think it's bullshit. Some people think it's gold. And it's the same thing with you, right? Don't try to convince yourself of anything. Decide what you'd choose to experience instead. There's the thing. And again, a real generic question, that's pretty much what I can do. But the first mistake I see right off the bat is, how do you convince yourself? Nah, why bother? What do you want to experience instead? You surrender to that. And that's the other thing. So, I put up the Secrets of Surrender pack. That was good. That was last week's. So, let us continue.
Cool. Excellent.
All right. Does this sound better?
Tyra says thank you. So hopefully that either means...
All right.
I thank you, I saw you do it, or thank you, it does sound better.
All right.
Cool.
See, for me, it means something. Something that makes me smile. All right.
The next question's from Dream Driven Day Amanda. Specific money in specific ways. So Amanda says, there are some of Neville's stories that focus on receiving specific money amounts in specific ways.
You are correct.
Why do these work when we are taught to focus on what implies the wish has been fulfilled rather than the numbers?
Cool. Let me run with that part real quick.
Okay.
Here's what I notice. People get hypnotized by numbers. They can't relate to numbers, and so they get stuck with numbers. It's sort of like, I used to weigh 180 pounds. I'm imagining weighing 180 pounds. It's like, that ain't what I want. What I really want is the experience of what I feel I would have if I weighed 180 pounds. So, by the way, I'm not saying numbers are bad. I'm saying most people can't relate to them. So, but let's continue with this, and we'll go into why these specific ones. Go for it.
So, for example, the $250 for the businessman, the man who of the 5 to 10 pool at the Caliente racetrack.
Caliente.
I said it right.
I know you did.
The Caliente racetrack, in The Law and the Promise, and the man who saw specific amounts of money in his bank accounts and won it on the same horse racing game in The Law and Promise.
All right, so we got a lady in the Facebook group who is absolutely nuts about counting money, and she hasn't been manifesting good money, and she's been counting for like 5 years now. I have nothing against her, but I just keep pointing out, in your life, do you count money when you have money? Right, so here's the cool thing. For someone who's an accountant, imagining numbers might be pretty damn good. I'm not an accountant. Here's what I am. Beep. Right? That's me. As long as the thing goes beep in the right tone, I expect it to go beep in the right tone. Whenever something comes along and I go, that's only $1,000, I'll buy it. That's the attitude. That's the feeling. It's not that, oh man, I'll go see David Brown Mechanical when I have money for him to fix the car. I go and I say, look, I got a problem. And he says when to bring it. So it's based on his timing, not my wallet. And so here's the thing that I notice. My buddy Doc was a gambler. His parents, his uncle, or his father, somebody taught him how to run the books. The family member was a bookie, and he learned the system, so he could analyze horse races. So it was really natural for him to imagine winning at the horse races. So he'd know, I'm going to make an extra 20 grand this month. I'm going to go to the horse races. He's imagining winning at the horse races. That was natural for him. For me, right, the natural thing is business. I'm like Victor Goddard. I love business. I'm nuts about business. When people talk socialist bullshit to me, I go, right, you're a fucking moron. I do push-ups, my chest gets bigger. You think your chest should get bigger because I do push-ups? You're wrong. Right? It's unnatural. See, this is what I believe. So it's easy for me to go, rightio, what do I do? What do I build that brings in an extra 10, 50, 100, right? Boom, grand. And that's where the fun gets to be. So if you're the guy that was the horse better, that's natural for him. Now, Neville does mention the lady who imagined counting cash. She imagined counting cash. Well, she was a seamstress. She got paid in cash. Right? When people tell me I'm imagining counting $100,000, are you a drug dealer? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Now, I had fun actually imagining holding cash because when I moved here, my business was in the USA. And so and I had a PayPal debit card. Every day I could go to the debit thing and take out $400. Right? I got the limits raised. And so for me, it was not a bad imaginal act to imagine having another band of $10,000 because I was bringing money into the country. Right? That was a natural act for me. But for me to tell you, imagine going to the ATM every day and withdrawing $400 cash, putting it in $10,000 bundles and sticking it in little leather briefcases throughout the house.
Yeah.
Right? That's not going to be an imaginal act that works for most people. For me, it was fun.
Yeah,
right?
it worked.
So here's the fun thing, right? I'm a massive fan of imagining what implies your wish is fulfilled. So if your actual wish, and I know one of yours is basically travel without concerns about money kind of thing, cool. Yeah, I would imagine what implies that you do that. So Terry, I do look great. Thank you. So,
cool.
So there's the cool thing. So I'm not, can I say, never imagine dollar figures, whatever. For the rare person who's an accountant or whatever, that might work really, really well. I just imagine the feeling of having plenty. What would imply that we've got plenty of reserves, cash flow, retirement, investment, got it? That kind of thing. So, and my biggest investment is skill, but more on that some other time. How was that? I think I nailed it. Oh, did we do the bath part? Or we did the last part?
Yeah, I've read all that.
Amanda, thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda.
Boom.
Good one.
By the way.
And I can see in that just how you said for the rare person that's the accountant.
And
that's exactly what I did. What was natural for me as an accountant, which I didn't even think about.
For the house.
For the house.
Yep.
Before I was saving money to just get a measly deposit, but I created a spreadsheet.
Yeah, she imagined
spreadsheets.
Forecasts
into 3 months into the future.
Yeah.
God. But that was...
She built anticipation into it,
status.
status.
It was natural for me to do that sort of work.
Yeah.
So,
you get when she imagines spreadsheet, she builds in the happy chemicals, anticipation, status, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Me, when I look at a spreadsheet, cortisol shows the fuck up. It's like, hey, 20, you could put your things in a spreadsheet and use GMAS. Fuck you. Ain't nobody putting nothing in a spreadsheet.
But that is really cool because I'd never sort of thought about that before. Why did it work? But it definitely worked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm a people person, right? So in Mr. 2020's weird, obtuse NLP world, we go through how do people sort? My primary sort is people. My secondary is activity. My third is location. The other two don't matter to me at all, right? But I have wonderful access to them, right? Her first one is activity followed by people, then location, right? So we get along very well. So, but here's what's really, really cool. For her... imagining up the activity related to a spreadsheet and having that experience with dopamine. Ooh, next month. Oh yeah, halfway there. Yeah, and all that stuff worked for her. For me, it's being the boom in the room, getting the compliment,
right.
giving the compliment, having the conversation. So for me, if I was imagining up a nice house, I'd imagine Jerry Mika standing at the top of the thing, taking photos with his wife.
Yeah.
Right, that kind of thing. More on that later.
Cool.
Let us continue.
Okay. So thank you, Amanda.
Amanda, we love you, Amanda.
And the last question today is from Dream Driven Day Robin. Are people chosen?
Yeah, her name's technically Robin.
Robin. Okay.
It's actually not.
No, I didn't think so.
Robin.
And Robin asks, are people chosen? Chosen for what? Laugh out loud. I know that's such a broad question, but for instance, were you, Mr. TT, chosen to be a Neville teacher because you were the only one who truly teaches him correctly.
First, I'll take that as a compliment, well-deserved. Second of all, right? Oh, I love compliments that are well-deserved. So, second of all, ready? I chose truth. And then I avoided teaching this shit for as long as possible. Because I didn't want to, quote unquote, be a spiritual teacher. Because spiritual teachers can't swear. They can't look at her and go, damn, right? Can't eat meat.
Yeah.
And like all this baggage that goes along with it all. So I was like, oh, no, I can't do that. And it's like, well, like I like the NLP stuff, but you can't be woo-woo and do NLP. So it's, oh, fuck me. What can I do? I'll go to the woods and just run around naked for months, right? So I did that for a while. But here's the cool thing. I chose truth. And here's the cool thing. Whenever you choose something like truth, I wasn't choosing a dogma. I didn't care what form the truth came in. I was living in hell. And so I chose truth. I figured truth would either kill me or cure me. And what it did was revealed me. And that to me is what made me fall in love with Neville again. I came across Neville 3 times. The first, I was about 12. I'd go to the corner bookstore, right? The corner bookstore was a little used bookstore about an hour outside of Scottsdale, Pennsylvania. And it was in like a barn, sort of like her she shed. And you'd go in, they had all these bookshelves, and they sold books for like 25 cents. So I'd go through and I was nuts. I figured, fuck, man, if here's a good one, I'll put it in my bag, put it in my bag, put it in my bag, put it in my bag. And then I'd start walking home. And so I'd get like 10 books for $2.50. And on the way home, I'd ditch probably a third of them. Right, because it's like, oh, this is too heavy and this book sucks. And so, like, the first time I came across a Neville Goddard book, I'm like, oh, this is great, positive think you do kind of guy. And I'm reading, and he goes way too much into Bible for me. I'm like, oh, in the bin it goes, right? so Neville didn't make it home, right? I got some good shit from the book, but whenever it got John 3:16 and so on, it's like, I'm out of here. I heard that way too many times. And then the second time was after the riot. My wife at the time joined Amway, and the upline said, hey, I've got a couple books for you. One was Think and Grow Rich, and another one was a Neville Goddard book. And I looked at that, and I said, yeah, that's pretty good. I got it. Oh, he talks about something called The Promise. Not in the mood for that shit. Right? I had a near-death experience. I just wanted to make some money, didn't want to go back to work, all that good stuff. So, time number 2. Time number 3, I'm experiencing the events of The Promise. I dedicated myself to truth. It's like, I'm done with suffering. I'm done with bullshit. I'm done with dogma. I just want to discover who I am and how this works. And then suddenly, right? Yeah, I remembered this Neville Goddard guy because I go online, I'm having these experiences, I'm looking up Kundalini Awakening and all this stuff, and mostly what I'm reading is, you're very special, you're born in a special time to do special things. And it's like, it doesn't feel all that truthful to me, but I happen to believe like Neville does. Everyone wakes up, right? I'm not chosen like a new age way, but here's the thing. I chose truth, and the desire showed up to teach this stuff. And I resisted it as long as I could. And what kicked it over was when I finally started really landing in Australia here. And it's like, what do I want to do? And I looked at my mailing lists, and my biggest email list was my Neville Goddard list, because we put up, years before I came here, I put up freenevillegoddard.com. Download 221 lectures of Neville's for free. If you have any questions, ask. And I meant if you have any questions on how to open the zip file. Yeah. Right? People started asking me questions. I started giving them answers. I formed a little Yahoo group. Right? This is before the thing called Facebook. There was this thing called Yahoo. So I formed a Yahoo group, answered some questions there, met some people along the way that were some of the initial people that came to the Facebook group, so on and so forth. And long story short, I got to the point where this is pretty much the cornerstone of what we do. Because what Neville did was Neville teaches from experience. What I do is teach from experience. I think the gift that I bring to the table, one of them, is I notice process, not just content. And most people are just parroting content. Neville said, Neville said, Neville said. And I point out, this is what you got going on. This is what he had going on. You're closer to a verb than a noun. And I'm the guy that notices the verbs. So, I think that's pretty much. So, are we chosen? I think we choose. Your desires are divine in origin, and at some point we all choose truth. And that's when the fun happens. So, great question. I thank you for asking it. And welcome to Triple D October.
Oh, is Robin in?
Yes.
Oh, good on you.
She's one of the chosen.
Oh, good on you, Robin. Thanks very much for your question. That was, really fascinating.
By the way, this is really worth exploring because it's like at some point, we all feel a calling. The whole jumping mouse thing, it's in there for a reason, right? We feel a calling. There's something, you hear the river. You don't know what it is. You don't even believe it exists. The old mice tell you it doesn't exist. But you feel it, and you're called to it. And then the little trickster jump, crouch low, jump high, splash. I'm really pissed off. What did you see? All that stuff. The adventure continues. And this is life. We're all called. We all feel a calling. The thing is, do we choose to accept it? So, there's both sides of the coin.
Really good, babe.
And with that, thank you, Victoria.
Yes.
You're really good, too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that was, for Robin. Thank you very much for your question. And what we'd like to know is tell us, what was your hashtag? Strawberry bit?
That is the rightness. Cindy is here, too. Welcome. Oh, look at that. Why is that fucking back there? Meghan Markle should hang her head in shame.
Look,
I don't know. Why does it come up on my thing now? I made that go away months ago.
You turn notifications off and now they're back on.
Unbelievable. Well, maybe when we did the upgrade.
Okay, so my strawberry bit, yes, was your answer to that last question. I love that about how it's like it's what you choose for you. It's not the other way around.
Totally.
And thanks for all your examples and all the times you met Neville.
I chose a good one.
A good one. So that was my hashtag strawberry bit. What was yours?
Cool. I just appreciate where the questions come from. Because we got a lot of good people here. And I notice, you'll notice, you guys that are watching the show that haven't done Dream Driven Day yet, yes, a crass commercial, right? Join. You'll notice the Dream Driven Day kids are asking some really cool questions.
Yeah.
I mean, and y'all are. But the nature of the questions, where the questions are coming from, where the play comes from, it's awesome. It's different. Right? Anyone can talk about how to manifest a new car, experience the leather seats on your ass while you're getting sunburned driving down the road with your controvertible with Monica. Right? Yeah. Anyway, someday Bill Clinton's going to die, and that's going to be sad for me. Monica. One last Monica. Anyway, that's it. I just love you guys. I love where the questions come from, and that you show up. We still have 25 people here on my last ramble. That impresses me, because Facebook doesn't share us all that well anymore. So a couple of years ago, remember, we could get like up to 100 people on a live.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then would have 1,000 views by the night. Facebook doesn't share shit anymore. Share shit.
Oh, wow.
The Mad Mystic of Melbourne. There's Luke. Luke is in Dream Driven Day October.
Mad Mystic of Melbourne. Okay,
That's
so
right.
that was our hashtag strawberry bits. While you finish typing in yours, go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
That's right. Boy, we've got some cool shit. I'm totally redesigning all that, by the way. Stay tuned.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right. And dreamdrivenday.com. Again, this is the last time we're doing it this year.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can't ethically squeeze it in.
You can't squeeze anymore.
Anywhere in. So it's like, this is it, guys. Again, you can dick around till next January, February. I love waiting, Mr. 20. I love waiting for Monica. You remember when Chili Billy? So him and Monica were doing what him and Monica did. Yeah, they were doing what they were doing in the White House, and I think it was Yasser Arafat. They made stay out in the garden. It's like or maybe it was the other guy, but one of those guys from the Middle East was there for an important meeting with Bill. Like, we're gonna blow shit up. And it's like, me and Monica are getting it on.
God.
Swear to God. That's right.
Okay, so
look at that. Joe's teaching everyone geography. Good on you, Joe.
Yeah.
Half
hour outside CBD, we're still Melbourne.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
See, she's going to make you wrong.
Sorry,
today.
Don't mean to make you wrong, Joe, because I know you've been here.
Yes, she does. You know what I'm imagining? Joe Weldon back.
I know. I can't wait. I know he's going to come back.
Goddamn right. Making movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Making
a movie about me.
I actually flew out there to meet this effing guy.
That's right. Didn't you fly over the North Pole or something? Like, I seem to recall Joe's route was like, yeah, like you know, when you get a GPS and you put in shortest route, most scenic route, whatever. I think Joe picked the longest fucking route to Australia. Now we're going to fly over the North Pole.
God.
But there's nothing to see.
White, and more white.
That's right.
Okay. Yes, he said.
Yes.
For refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right, everyone said. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
8 minutes to get to the pool. I can do it.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Love you guys. Boom.